Welcome to Broken Chains and Building Dreams, the podcast where broken pieces become stepping stones to strength. Join me, Julio Almanzo, aka JC, as we explore the transformative power of resilience, redemption, and renewal. Each episode will journey from the depths of adversity to the heights of triumph, sharing stories of hope, inspiration, and overcoming obstacles, featuring special guests from all walks of life, from felons to actors to singers to entrepreneurs, individuals who have walked that road from wrong to strong. So get ready for some real conversations about family and the pursuit of purpose, and some good old war stories. So get ready, because we're breaking those chains and building those dreams one episode at a time. My name is JC. I am Wrong to Strong. Welcome to Breaking Chains and Building Dreams.
Welcome back to Breaking Chains and Building Dreams, the Wrong Strong Way. I am your host, JC, founder of Wrong Strong. Today, I'm going to share one of the most intense and life-threatening experiences from my past. This isn't just another story. This was a matter of life and death, a real-life situation that could have ended very different and ended everything for me. Before we dive in, here's a quick disclaimer. Names and places in this story have been changed to protect the identity of those involved. This is a real story, but for legal reasons, certain details have been altered. This story isn't just about the thrill and danger. It's about the lesson learned and the journey from darkness to light. So buckle up, because this ride is going to get intense. Imagine flying into Mexico with the full knowledge that you might not come back. That plane touches down and you already feel the weight of everything that lies ahead. I took a bus to Apatzingán, Mexico, a place where disappearing off the face of the earth was a real possibility. And it was stepping into the lion's den. One wrong move could mean the end. After that major bust in Chicago involving 50 kilos worth over $1 million, I was in some deep trouble. That's the thing about this business, that once you're there, you're responsible for it. The cartel doesn't play games, especially when it involves money. If you screw up, you pay with your life. The pressure was tense. I had two things on my mind. I needed to fix this, and I needed my shipment. I couldn't go back to just being like a gang member on the streets, selling dime bags and ounces. Like, I felt like I had paid my dues, I felt like I had did my time. Upon arriving to Mexico, I could feel the tension in the air. It was me. I was scared. My whole life, I've been playing Russian roulette with my life, facing death face to face. It was nothing like the movies. This was like real life with real consequences. Going to meet the boss of bosses was like staring death in the face. This man had the power to end my life with a single word. When I got to the town, I was picked up. It's a small town. People know who you are and who you're there to see. As I drove to his house, it looked like a normal house from the outside. Just a gate, Mexican style, with the gate that you open up and you pull your car in. It looked normal. But once we walked in, it was a mini mansion with 20 bedrooms, a pool, air conditioners that I had never seen before in my life. Some European thing, I guess. I'm not gonna lie, the whole time I was there, I was uneasy. I was afraid. As we walked through the halls and I seen the workers, the maids, and he led me into his office where he had a AK-47 just right next to his chair. I was scared, but at the same time, I knew that I hadn't done nothing wrong. I didn't steal. I didn't do nothing. I was just trying to work. I was trying to make some money. I was trying to survive. I didn't want to go back to being a gang member or just being a street thug. Like, I wanted this cartel life. So I couldn't show that I was scared. I couldn't show that I was in fear. This was a test of my nerves. Talk about PTSD, right? I mean, if you know my life, you know that this was a walk in the park compared to everything else. Every instinct in my body told me to run, but I stood my ground. He already knew everything. He had talked, who had stolen, why they got raided. He had the entire download. I was standing when he told me to sit and said, "Esta es tu casa." This means this is your home. He told me, for you just to jump on a bus and come here, it showed me that I was right. You know, I told him that this was my first time leading and making that amount of money. I wanted to do things right. I didn't want to steal. I wanted to do everything by the book. You know, I was really trying to make a career out of this. Yeah. It's really what I thought that I was going to do for the rest of my life. So I was really trying to move up the ladder. I was really trying to learn. I was really trying to make money. I wasn't ready to go back no more. I wanted more. The guys that they had sent up to Chicago to work, usually it works like that, where the family send a group of men up to Chicago and they have houses in different areas in Chicago. And, you know, the guys they had up there were up to no good. That's why they got raided. When the cartel sends these guys up there to work, their number one job is to stay in the house and never leave, never, pretty much not cause any attention at all. All they're there to do is receive the shipments. But once they got a little taste of the money, things change. You know, Chicago is a very wild city, big nightlife, and there's a lot of Mexicans and there's a lot of Latino vibes. And once the guys get a taste of it, that's it, you know. My nerves of steel that day earned me his trust, and this was one of the top dogs. So like I got a very good number that day. I left that day with a very good number. It was time for me to make real money now. It was time for me to move up the ladder. It meant more responsibilities, more risks, and a lot more time, but it also meant a lot more cash. I finally got his blessing, and it was giving me pretty much the right of way. Now I was the one that was going to be receiving his loads in Chicago. The more you move up, the more you make. 60K on a good day, 20 or 10,000 on a bad day. To sit here and to think that I started selling dime bags and acid for $5. I really thought I was Scarface now. But the more money means more problems. To the point where your own friends try and rob you, kill you, set you up. Coming back to Chicago with the mother load, as I have said in the past, was like a high. I even got 180K tattooed on my left arm to pretty much celebrate it. But life was it was not smooth. There was a lot of challenges, a lot of shootings, a lot of kidnappings, a lot of, me running from everyone. After escaping that bus and having to fly to Mexico to explain myself, it's like a nightmare from like a movie, a scene from a movie, but this was, having to convince the boss that I wasn't the one who had robbed them or set them up. As I look back at all this life and everything, and I was living a very dangerous game that could have ended in death or life in prison. But through all, I've learned so many lessons about trust, loyalty. I mean, yes, at a very high cost of living, a life of crime. But today, I have to say that I'm a different person because of all that. Today, I know that I no longer have to be that person who I was trying to be. I had no purpose. I had no call. I had no faith. I had no love. today, it's one of my biggest factors. I have love in my heart. I have learned to love my wife. I have learned to love my kids. I have learned to love myself. I have learned to love God. But it's all been a walk. You know, I tell people wrong to strong is a change that needs to happen together. You can't change in isolation. You can't get better in isolation. Today, helping and like dedicating my life to helping the women at Perryville and the men at Lewis, and just providing assistance and teaching them goals, so when they go to the halfway house, they know how to stay out. They know what to do, what not to do. Habits, support system. Even me just showing up there every week has taught these men and women what love is. So if you believe in our mission, please consider donating to our GoFundMe. Your support helps us continue the work of like traveling, program resources. It helps us. And it helps us do this together. Together we could break the chains of the past and build dreams for the future for these men and women and kids. Thank you for listening, and remember, stay strong, stay hopeful, and keep moving forward. The journey from wrong to strong is one step at a time. On our next episode, I will share the story of the 180K tattoo and the risk that came with it. Until then, stay safe, stay strong. Guys, I love you. I am JC, and I am wrong to strong.